Okay, now I'd like to show you how to make some lightweight, strong bamboo hiking poles. Quite inexpensive. I've used these for 5 or 6 years with no problems. Basically, what I've done is I've got a couple pieces of bamboo that are about the size, the diameter of my little finger up at the top. These initially were 8-foot lengths of bamboo that I got at a garden supply store, and I cut them down to about 44 inches long a piece for me, which is the right length, and I'm about 5'10", but you could cut them to whatever length you want. At the end, I glued in an eye screw like this. These things are available at any hardware store, and I like to use goop, but any kind of glue would be okay. If you just screw those into the bamboo, they find their way out. Now these poles double as tent poles for my sil nylon poncho tarp, and so I have to have some line on them to use as a stakeout line. So I've actually attached 6 feet or a bit more of this 1/16 inch sash cord. It's nylon sash cord to them, and then I actually wrap it nicely around the handle like this, tie a square knot, I think that's a square knot at the bottom of it, and so this works as a pretty nice handle for me. I can actually walk with this, holding on to it without much problem. Occasionally it'll untie or loosen up on the trail, and I'll just tighten it up again. For the walking ends, I've actually glued and actually taped on some of these little rubber feet, these little plugs that you can get for the end of crutches, for example, or walking canes, and they come in various sizes, but you can basically glue them onto the end here, and they really work quite well. And these have been on, as I said, about 5 years and haven't worn through as yet. They work much better than the sharp points on the hiking sticks. I like to have a little extra tape with me, so I put some duct tape on this one and some Tyvek tape on this one. And the other thing that I've done is, at different lengths down the poles, I've actually wrapped around a little bit of this friction tape. And this allows me to wrap other lines around the bamboo if I want to make a pole that's, say, for a tent or an outstake or something that's a bit shorter than the 44 inches. The bamboo itself is very slippery. It has a sort of natural varnish on it, which is great for keeping it durable, but it makes it impossible to tie strings onto it that'll stick. So putting some of this stuff on, and again I put this on underneath the handle part itself where I put my sash cord, allows the cord to stay on it without much trouble. So these things are extremely strong. I've fallen with my full weight on them multiple times, I hate to say, and they've never come close to breaking. The pair of them, with the cord, weigh 9 ounces, and I looked up carbon fiber leke hiking poles on eBay today, and I see they weigh about 14 ounces. So this is just as good and much cheaper. It cost me $5, maybe 10 at most, as opposed to over $100 for the carbon fiber poles. But you might say the leke poles are collapsible, and so I'm aware of that problem. I like to go camping sometimes when I've been flying places, and so I wanted to have a set of these things that I could take on to carry on. One of the problems with standard hiking poles, let me see if I can dig some of them out here from my pile of junk here. I don't know where I have them, but oh, here we go. Poles like these, really not bad. I've used them a few times. The problem is not only that they weigh, I think, 22 or 24 ounces, but they've got metal points on them. See if I can get that off here. Hold on. Yeah, check that out. There's a metal point on there, so TSA will not let you take most standard hiking poles onto a plane as carry-on baggage. I hate to go through regular baggage because of all the delays. So anyway, what you can do, you can get the bamboo, cut it down. I've got a couple of lengths here of, I think it's 25 inches long, with about a 7-inch section in the middle. And then you just carry them in parts. You can put these together like so. I use a little duct tape and tape it together. And then use the cable tie. This is a kind of a cable tie. I put 3 of these on here. And when it's done, it looks pretty much like this. You can see this. It's easy enough to get it into a usable condition. You just basically clip these things off. I'd use my pocket knife on the trail. And got a hiking pole. Looks a little bit oh, it's not quite straight, but it's not wobbly at all. And in fact, I've used these things for days at a time. They seem to work quite well. And this weighs, I just weighed it on my scale, 12.5 ounces. And again, that's compared to, I think, 14 ounces for the carbon fiber telescoping poles. So you've got a cheap, strong, durable, and carry-on baggage usable set of hiking poles, either the solid ones, which are much lighter, or the takedown ones, which are a few ounces heavier, for less than $10.